Thanksgiving morning. Caitlin is over. We're going to be making the family braided onion bread. We've got eggs and butter and salt and sugar and sesame seeds, Parmesan cheese, garlic salt, and Hungarian paprika. All these measuring things and this bread flour. We're going to try King Arthur today. I haven't used that before, but I heard very good things about King Arthur bread. And these are some of our devices we're going to use. Oh, don't forget the onions. We're going to use that to get the onions all grated up, and we're going to use that stand mixer, our good old stable KitchenAid, to blend the dough. So we're going to get started by, first off, fishing out the dry yeast and making that active. Caitlin's going to start us out with yeast, and here's the bowl. So we're going to put 1 package of active dry yeast into this bowl, and then we're going to add some warm water to it. So we're going to actually, bring the yeast to life. The trick with this is not to make the water too hot, because it will kill the yeast. So we're using warm water. My earliest tries of this was I used way too hot water and the dough didn't rise at all. So we're going to use a 1/4 cup of water in with that package of yeast. We're going to let the yeast we're going to stir it up, and then we're going to let it sit there for a moment and prove that it's alive by bubbling. So this is very fresh yeast, so it should be very bubbly. Get that back off in there if you can. Scrape it off. Her hands are clean, she washed them. While we're waiting for the yeast to rise, we're going to measure out the flour, and we're doing it in spoonfuls so that it's not over.
But I knew that.
What? What did you know?
That you're supposed to do it in spoonfuls and not just scoop it in.
Yeah, so it's not overpacked. So it's kind of a messy process because you're going to dribble little bits of flour, but we need 2 cups of flour. Bread flour is what we're using again. The yeast is proving that it's alive. It's bubbling up and making little clumps. So we're going to add the other ingredients to all of that. Caitlin's going to add 2 cups of flour, a 1/4 cup of sugar, going on top of it all, 1½ teaspoons of salt, a 1/2 cup of hot water, and I'm going to go get that from the water on the stove.
Warm milk.
And the warm milk, and a 1/2 cup of warm milk. So Caitlin's putting in the warm milk. And I'm going to put in the hot water and put it all on the top so that it doesn't touch the yeast and kill it by instant death, instant boiling water, boiling in oil. Water, not oil.
And then eggs.
And then an egg. 1 egg goes in.
And then butter.
Yep. Yep. And a 1/4 cup of butter is going to go in there.
Make my hands all greasy.
There. And then we're going to put that on the blender. We're going to use the paddle.
I'm a natural.
You are. Lower it, lock it, and start it on low just to get it damp. It puffs up for a minute, and then once everything's damp, we'll turn it up to pretty much a low speed or a low medium speed, which is about right. And then we'll just knock it up to medium-low speed for a couple of minutes.
Yeast is probably confused.
The yeast is now confused. There it is, looks pretty good. We're going to add some more flour to this one and stuff, but obviously we're just getting all the so you can stop it now. Stop for 2 minutes. And now we're going to switch out the blade. So, because we don't want this one, because it's going to start getting thick. So now we want the dough blade. Yep, the bread dough blade. So we're going to move that. We're drinking some Arnold Palmer tea while we're doing this for refreshment. Okay, I'm going to set that here. And yep. Figure out. Yeah. And return. And there you go. See? You can see where it locks onto this little pin right over here.
So we have just turns.
Yours just turns. Okay, you got a fancier one. It's better. This is older, like us. So, all right, I'm gonna lock that on, and then Caitlin is going to put in the next 2 cups of flour. So, turn it on while you feed that flour in. You might use your spoons.
So that's what's going on. Those 2 cups of flour are being blended in.
I'm gonna push down the sides just to give everybody a chance to play at the party.
Yeah.
Some of the dough works its way up to the sides, and then also in the very bottom it gathers sometimes, and that's sort of a flowery lump down there in the bottom. Just going, and then I'll let it mix some more. What it's doing is it's coagulating, it's becoming a clump. And once it's a solid clump, which it kind of is right now, I really don't want to over blend this, so I'm going to stop it now. So we've got the dough in a ball here. I've put it all, sort of scraped it all down to the bottom, and I'm going to take it out of this. We're going to actually just kind of let it rise in this pan right here. So we're going to put some saran wrap over the top to keep the moisture and the warmth inside, and then I'm going to cover it with this. I don't know, family tradition. We always cover it with a dish towel. Maybe there's some magic behind that. And we're going to put it in the oven over here, where I've already got a couple of baking trays in here, which are going to be filled with hot water to steam up the inside of the oven. I don't turn the oven on. I used to back in the old days, but I don't anymore. I turned it on just to warm it, but now the water keeps it warm enough. And then I'll refresh that water, I don't know, in about 20 minutes or so, just to keep that warm steaminess going on inside the oven. And then we'll come back and visit it in about 45 minutes to an hour. While the loaf is rising, we make the filling for the onion twist, and we start with this. So first part of the filling is chopped onions.
We're very fashionable. We have to be fashionable at the beginning, or else it won't cut easily.
This keeps us from crying. So each loaf needs a cup of finely chopped onions. So we're going to use this Oster blender to finely cut the onion, but as we get it ready to go into the blender, we don't want to cry while we do that. I'm going to cut the end off the onion, and the end off the onion. And then peel the skin. Oh, so brutal. Okay.
Skinning it alive.
Skinning it alive. There's a lot of torture.
That sounds pretty dark.
Yeah, that's very dark. This whole process is dark. Yeah. We almost killed the yeast by boiling it in hot water.
We did kill it.
We
will cook it.
We are going to kill it. It will die.
This house is full of murders. But don't tell.
Yeah. It will die only after making delicious bread.
What dies here stays here.
And look, we're not crying at all because...
No, because we got...
safety, protection.
And fashion.
Fashionableness. Okay, so I'm going to cut this into pieces that we'll put into the blender. That on and then pulse it. You know how to do that. So you can still see it. That actually looks pretty good.
It was quick and easy.
It was quick and easy. Did you just
Yeah. I have onion juice in my hands. Delicious.
Tonight when you're sleeping in bed, you'll smell your fingers and it'll be like, oh, onion, ew.
No. Don't rub your eyes while doing this either.
We're going to cut 3 tablespoons of butter. I'm going to put this over there for now. Nicely marked, 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to melt this in a saucepan over on the stove. Caitlin asked wisely if we were going to saute the onions, but we are not. we're just going to saturate them in the buttery mix. This is going to be the filling, the onion part of the braided onion bread that will go inside each of the braids. Butter is sizzling, and this is a workforce. This is the protective gear. Safety first. The butter has been melted, so now we're just going to remove it from the flame, and the onion goes inside there. So just dump the onion in the butter. Yep, and then we need our stir to mix it all up. The onion, right, the onion should be kind of rendered a little bit benign, so it won't hurt us anymore. It can't hurt you anymore, Caitlin. And now we're going to add the Parmesan cheese, which is a tablespoon of Parmesan cheese. There you are.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, heaping tablespoon's good. Yes. Perfect. Nice. And then we're going to also include sesame seeds.
Which is over there.
Yep.
Every time I hear sesame seeds, I think of Sesame Street. From Elmo.
That's good. Throw that in. We'll need more of those when we're all done too. So you're going to need plenty of sesame seeds because you're going to sprinkle it on the loaf as well when we're all done. Teaspoons of garlic salt. Yep.
If you're a vampire, I suggest skipping this step.
Skipping this step. 1 teaspoon of paprika. Hungarian paprika. Actually, this came all the way from Hungary. An international dish. I think it's going to turn red now. Reddish.
Pinkity drinkity.
So there's the paprika. And everything being stirred and mixed. Alright, so this is all just going to sit on the side until the bread is ready to get it applied. Okay, in anticipation of the next step, we're going to prepare these pans because they're going to get the braids and that's where the bread's going to bake. So we're going to rub them down with shortening. So we've got some of that here. Put it on there and smear it on. Oh, look at that, a whole big chunk. It's going to be smeared all over.
I bet that's a pain to clean off.
It's not so bad. Because dish soap cuts through oil. So we're going to make the surface ready. Put the flour down. Move it around. Let's go get the risen. It is risen.
It is risen indeed.
Hallelujah. I'm going to reveal it. Okay, it did puff. We're going to knock it down after putting flour on our knuckles.
Oh.
Yep, see? So that's the difference. My knuckles have flour, and they come away without the thing attached. It's like biting your back if you have flour, if you don't have flour. So we're going to punch it down so to get out the main air bubbles, the big ones. We're going to be rolling it out too, obviously, in just a moment. So we want it to be deflated. Don't worry, it'll come back. Okay, so waiting to hit it.
Payback.
Yeah, it's payback for what you did to me earlier. Okay, so I'm gonna roll it out into 18 by 12. And then I try and get the corners out because you can see when you roll each individual one that if the corner is square, you're better off getting the full roll as opposed to if the corner is tapered in and it doesn't roll completely over. So this corner needs to come up. And you can't pull it back like that. That's 18. That's nice. That's over 12, so keep it. Let's just square that up a little bit. It looks really good to me. Just tug this corner a little bit, tug that one a little bit, just to, again, square up the whole thing. So what we need to do then, now that we've got it, it's 12 inches by 18 inches, roughly, and we need 3 strips out of it. So 4 inches a piece, or cut it into thirds. So I usually estimate about that as 1/3, and then just split the other one in half. That means a third. If your first one is a third, then that's correct. So just do that. And the dough separated, mostly. And then this one in half. Like that. And these are going to be our braids. Now we get the onion mixture. 1/3 will go on each of these. So roughly 1/3 on this one. Try and spread it out sort of like that. It's probably going to have to do. And then another 1/3 on this one. Alright, so I'm just going to spread these out, not all the way to the edge, because you want the edges clear enough that they can be pinched and sealed. So you don't kind of want them all juicy with onion. But this is the beautiful onion inserts. And then, simply enough, you roll them. I'll do this one and then I'll give it to you for the next one. But so just sort of turn the corner, roll it, and continue rolling. Kind of pulling the onion mixture underneath. And then bringing this over and pinching it to seal it. So you're trying to make the tube. Like a cinnamon roll, but now a cinnamon.
With onion. That'd be a pretty nasty surprise. If we went to buy
Want a cinnamon roll? Give it to somebody and it's not a cinnamon roll, it's an onion roll. Haha! It was an everything bagel roll. Alright, and then I also try and pinch the end because it is an end, so we don't really need it exposed and open. Alright, so that's ready. I'm gonna trade off and let you roll the next one. Caitlin is our guest roller. The trick is to try and keep the onion inside while you're rolling it because it wants to smoosh out. And you know, yeah.
Did you go on from this?
Nope, just the one side. Yeah, you keep rolling. Yep. Beautiful. So now you pull up the other side and seal it. Nope, the other way. Go the other way. That way then it won't leak out. Yep. So we have the 3 components for the braid. We're going to bring over the pan right here. And
Are you good at braiding?
I'm good at braiding. Are you good at braiding? You're not?
You'd think I'd be good at it.
I would think so. So we bring all 3 pieces over here. I'm going to put the longest piece on an end because it's the first one that turns, so we'll get a chance to even up. I'm going to tuck these under each other a little bit, and then it's like one over there, and then this one will flip over there. You see I'm kind of cheating the seam into the inside so that the top looks smoother. So that goes here. This one comes over here. This one over here. Oops, there it goes. Oops. Clamoring for space. There. 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 And there. I'm going to try and sort of just even it out a little bit.
It's beautiful.
Beauteous. And now I'm going to grab the saran wrap and put it over top again because we're going to have this rise again for 45 minutes to an hour until it's doubled in size.
No, that
We'll be back after a word from our sponsor.
Hi, I'm sponsoring Arnold Palmer. Half and half.
It's the drink of choice.
Drink of choice.
For hungry bakers.
For many
thirsty bakers.
people.
Yeah.
Very delicious. Highly recommend.
Well, hello.
Hi.
This came out of the oven from rising. It rose, actually. There it is.
Nice.
I didn't expect it to be that high. So we're surprised. Anyway, so that's its second rise. We're now going to wash it in an egg wash that is, for this loaf, it is 1 egg yolk with a 1.5 tablespoons of water mixed up. So we spread that on the loaf, and then we're going to sprinkle it with sesame seeds. Copious amounts of sesame seeds. So the sesame seeds are inside and on the outside. So let's go. And then the oven is also heating up right now, preheating to 350 degrees. And then we'll pop it in that oven as soon as it's up to temp, and we're done with this decoration. Okay, you want a sesame sprinkle? Give the honors. This is why you want to start with a lot of sesame seeds. You're going to use them.
Use them for the filling and the top.
The beeper just beeped. The temperature is all ready for the oven, so this is going to go in for 25 to 30 minutes. Right in the middle, bold and beautiful, and it looks so nice and cozy in there. So we're going to set a timer. Alexa, set a timer for, yes, for 25 minutes. Let's see what she thinks.
Second timer, 25 minutes.
She got it.
Starting now.
So we'll have a look at this in about a half an hour. We're ready to take out this loaf that we put in about a half an hour ago. A little under that. Want to look and see? That's how it looks. Looks about ready. It's a puffy one. So we're going to pull that out and set it out to cool down. Ooh, it rose really nice right down the middle. Look at that. I'm going to put it over here on the stove for it to cool. Let me see. Ooh. Sounds hollow, which is just right. Nice. Okay, we'll take it off of the tray in a couple of minutes when it cools. Get this off the tray. I took a spatula and ran it underneath around the perimeter. And it's cool enough to transfer over to a cooling rack. So I'm going to move it over to here and just kind of ease this edge off, and there it is. So now it can cool all together on the cooling rack, and when it's a little cooler, we'll cut it and find out if it tastes any good at all. Okay, what happened?
So we just finished making the onion bread, and we're about to cut into it to taste it.
How long did it take to prepare this
We got
recipe?
3.5 hours.
Yeah.
It's nice and warm.
Mm-hmm.
We got a little bit of filling.
Mm-hmm.
It's nicely baked.
Throw some butter on it. Taste it. See if it's any good or if it's poisonous.
It's probably poisonous.
Then you taste it right away
I
for
will.
me.
Sounds good. It's good.
It's a good deal.
10 out of 10.
Thanks for helping. Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for helping make the bread. Family affair. Good deal.